Arsenal versus Bayern Munich in the Champions League, a repeat of last year's tie. Could I just start by asking you to reflect on the two games last year and how your side grew on the back of it?
Last year, I believe that we went out on the away goal, basically. That shows you that, first of all, it's important not to concede at home. But I think we are in a much better mental shape today than we were 1 year ago, because we lost against Blackburn at home in the FA Cup, and it was a big disappointment for us. This time we won against Liverpool, and we are really determined, of course, to win this game tomorrow.
Bayern went on to win the competition, been in 3 of the last 4 finals as well. But did you prove something to yourselves as a team away by beating them?
It gave us belief to finish well the season last year, and from then on, I think as well, since the start of the season, we have done well. We are in a strong position, and it's now down to us how well we can from game to game show the same focus and spirit we have shown against Liverpool.
And as you said, Bayern made a very fast start at Emirates Stadium. How important is it to turn that around and make a fast start yourself?
It is, of course, important, because every minute counts in a game of that stature. And we are, of course, conscious of that, and we'll try to start very strong.
Just finally from me, in terms of team news, Arteta is suspended. Is there any other team news from the weekend game?
No, all the players have recovered from Sunday, and we have no big injury from that game. Arteta suspended. Rosicky comes into the group for him, and that will be the squad that has played against Liverpool plus Rosicky.
Arsene, hello. They're 16 points clear at the top of the Bundesliga. They haven't lost all season. They cruised through their group in the Champions League, but do you think in a way actually it might play to your advantage, the fact you've had to battle and scrap all the way through for what you've got in the Champions League and the Premier League? When it comes down to a really tight game, might you have the edge because you've had more competitive games?
Look, what we have, we know that we face the favourite of a competition, and what we have is we have built belief, because on the opposite, we had only big games in the Champions League and in the FA Cup, because we played against Tottenham, we played against Liverpool, and since the start of the season, we know that in every single game we have absolutely to be 100%. We believe we have it. We can do it, but that's down to the quality of our performance tomorrow.
Have you spoken to the players about the importance of staying in the game after the first leg, given what's happened after the last 2 years, where you've fought back brilliantly, but you've given yourself too much to do?
Exactly. It's we have built a home strength recently, because we don't give goals away, and that will be certainly vitally important in this tie.
Flamini's been saying that he thinks this side reminds him a bit of 2005, the last time you won a major trophy, in terms of its team spirit, its resilience. Is that something that you've noticed as well? Do you think this group of players is ready to take the next step?
We have a strong team spirit, that is for sure, and a strong desire to do well, and a united team. But it's important as well. I believe we had always this kind of qualities, but we had not always the belief, and the belief is built by the results, and on that front we are stronger, of course.
Okay, Jack, can I just ask you, is this the kind of game you like to be judged against, if you like, the ultimate test of Bayern Munich?
Yeah, I think so. It's, the Champions League is the pinnacle for any player. And luckily at Arsenal we get to play in it. It's what we work every year for, these big games. I remember my first big test against Barcelona, and we won. It's probably the best achievement of my career up to date. So these games are the ones we want to be involved in, and we'll definitely be ready tomorrow.
And can you use a good run in the Champions League to also help your Premier League aspirations in terms of building the confidence?
I think so, but I think as well, our Premier League run will help. We've been on a good run. Okay, we lost to Liverpool, but before that we were on a good run. We've been brilliant this season, especially at home. So we've got to make that count tomorrow.
Jack, I was just going to ask you. How much confidence can you take from what you did, particularly in Munich, towards the end of last season? It was the catalyst for such a great run, wasn't it, as well? Yeah,
it was. I think it's going to be a different game. We're at home. First of all, we've spoke about the importance of staying in the game, and not if it's 0-0 at home, we've still got a big chance to qualify. The away goal is massive in this competition, especially when it comes to these big games. That's definitely, we saw last year. We went out on away goals, so this year we got to be a bit more intelligent and stay in the game.
You really got a fantastic home defensive record. I mean, you mentioned the importance of keeping a clean sheet. You must have the belief that you can do that no matter how good Bayern are.
Yeah, we have. We got a great defence here. Even Thomas and Mind hasn't played, so we've got a great. That shows how good we are. We've got competition at the back, and they've been great this season. With Flamini as well. He adds a little bit of steel in midfield. So defensively, we're confident, and we can create chances with the players we got as well.
Was the problem last year because you almost started chasing the game quite early? As soon as they scored a goal, you almost ended up chasing the game.
I think we was a bit nervous going into the game last year. We lost to Blackburn in the game before, so there was a lot of tension in the stadium, and it was a big game. But I think once we calmed down a bit, we took the game to them a little bit, and we created chances, and I remember they got the third goal was a lucky goal, and that sort of killed us a little bit. But this year, we will be intelligent going into the game, and we'll first of all we'll work on our defensive duties, and then we'll play.
Arsene, the team's obviously defending better this season as a unit, but could you just talk a little bit about Mertesacker and Koscielny and how you feel that partnership has developed over time?
They've developed very well. They complement each other, and they play many games together now, and I think that helps as well. And overall, they've shown through the statistics just that they are a very reliable pair in centre of the defence. And it's a good opportunity to show it again tomorrow against a team who has a very strong offensive potential. But I'm sure we will do well.
And Jack, I mean, as a midfielder, having those two behind you must give you a great platform to go and express yourself further forward.
Yeah, it does as well. But in midfield we have Flamini as well, and Arteta's been great this season at that. He lets the more attacking players go forward. You have to remember at Everton he was the number 10, used to go forward, so he's changed his game. Flamini he loves that side of the game, running around and tackling, but as you said, they give us a good basis to go from.
Jack, we always mention 2005, the long wait for another trophy and stuff, but the boss mentions belief there. Do you get the feeling that things are different, that there's belief now where there wasn't before?
I think we showed that this season. I think the main thing in this group is the team spirit. We're all friends on and off the pitch, and we show that on the pitch, and we want to fight for each other. And we realise it's been a long time since we won a trophy, but the main thing is that we showed this season, in the games where we didn't play our best, but we won games, and that shows the team spirit, and hopefully we can continue that.
The long wait is going to come to an end, be it in this competition or another one, because the belief is back.
Well, I hope so. All we've got to do is to keep each game as it comes. The next game is the biggest game we've got. We've got Bayern Munich, and then we've got a game in the Premier League. So the games come thick and fast, and we'll just give our all in every competition.
Okay, got Turkey TV now.
Mr. Wenger, Guardiola and you always emphasized not only winning but also playing in style. Could we expect a game to watch? Could we expect a game to watch as?
Yeah, of course. With the quality of the players that will be on the pitch on both sides, it's nearly impossible to play without style. Because all the quality players are exceptionally gifted people, and they will produce a quality game.
Champions League games like a tactician's games, or is it a game of playing?
It's a tactician. It belongs as well to the. If you look at the history of the Champions League, you will see that it's always the big players who made the difference, and after the analyses are always adapted to the team who wins. But most of the time, it's the big players who make the difference on the pitch.
Okay, last couple of Mark there. Arsene, how much do you relish a battle against a coach like Pep Guardiola?
Look, it's interesting, but football is not a chess game, and it belongs to the players when the game starts. Is the right decisions on the pitch, and I think we as managers we prepare the team to do well. We take responsibility when it doesn't go well, but not forget that the main heroes are on the pitch, not on the bench.
He obviously made that decision though to take that sabbatical, as he called it, away from the game. You could never have done anything like that, could you? Take that long break from football?
No, I wasn't strong enough to do that. And now I maybe was in that state of mind. You have to be honest with yourself.
Okay, there's a question in German.
And he came back refreshed and he's doing well.
Question in German here.
Herr Wenger, Lars Rutemann vom ZDF, 2 kurze Fragen auf Deutsch bitte. Ist für Sie auch, wie für viele Experten, Bayern München momentan die beste Mannschaft der Welt?
Im Moment kann man nicht das Gegenteil sagen. Die gewinnen jedes Spiel, haben die Weltmeisterschaft gewonnen, die Europameisterschaft, die Champions League. Dann kann man natürlich nur sagen, ja, natürlich.
Morgen, genau vor einem Jahr, haben Sie hier entscheidend das Hinspiel verloren gegen Bayern München. Was haben Sie aus dieser Niederlage gelernt?
Dass wir ein bisschen zu nervös waren am Anfang des Spiels und auch, dass wir vielleicht zu stark ausgleichen wollten, denn wir haben das dritte Tor bekommen und auf ein Konter 5 Minuten vor dem Ende. Und mit 2-1 hätten wir vielleicht durchgehen können.
Just finally, are they noticeably different, do you think, under Pep Guardiola? Are there any clear differences that you can see from last season?
They play a bit higher up, maybe as a unit, but the overall, we have the same players, and we have not Schweinsteiger at the moment, who is coming back, and he has been replaced by Thiago, who is a bit more Spanish-style player. But overall, the basics are the same.
Okay, guys, thank you very much.
Cheers, Arsene.
Jack, Tom, thank you both.